Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Today we are discussing about morphology of flowering plants. In that video we will discuss about the all morphology of flowering plants. Okay, let's start. In morphology, typical angiospermic plant have two parts. Show vegetative structure like root, stem, leaf and second reproductive structure such as flower, fruit and seeds. Okay, let's start next page. Typical angiospermic plant have a second root system and shoot system. In root system, primary roots and secondary roots are present. In shoot system, leaf, stem, fruits and flowers are present. In vegetative structure, roots roots about the roots is a descending axis of a plant body which has a positively geotrophic and hydrotrophic but negatively phototrophic and aerotrophic. Means positively geotrophic means and hydrotrophics, they are descending axis. In soil, roots are grown. Roots are generally non-green, cylindrical and without nodes and internodes. In roots, nodes and internodes are absent. Roots are cylindrical. Non-green chlorophyll is absent. Grow beneath the soil surface towards a gravity. Roots are grow towards a gravity and beneath the soil. In next page, typical root structure. Diagram. In diagram, regions of roots, region of maturation, region of root cap, region of root hairs, region of cell elongation, region of meristematic region. In that, a parenchymatous multicellular structure in the root from a cap present over the young growing root apex is known as root cap. Root cap means a multicellular structure from a cap. It is a growing root apex. The apex of an root is a growing point about 1 millimeter in a length, protected from root cap. This region is also called a region of cell division or a meristematic region. In a meristematic region, meristematic tissue they divide cells and produce new cells. In that region, cell division is occurred. In third point, the structure is developed by compactly arranged thin-walled actively dividing meristematic cell. These cells brings about longitudinally growth of roots followed by a region of elongation. Region of elongation means in that region roots gets long. In next page, a region of root hairs absorption of piliferous zones is made up of numerous hairs-like outgrowth. In root hairs, numerous hair-like structure is present. On that structure, root epiblema or a piliferous layer produce tubular elongated unicellular structure known as root hair. In that tubular elongated unicellular structure, it is called as a root hair. The region of cell maturation or differentiation is a major portion of root developed by this region. The region helps fixation of plant and conduction of absorbed water and substance. Next, functions of root. Roots have many functions. In that, first function is root carry out several functions which can be categorized into primary and secondary function. In primary function, root are fixation or encourage the plant body in a soil, absorb of water and minerals from soil, conduction and absorption of material up to the stem bases. Means the primary function of root is fixation into soil, absorption water and minerals. Types of roots. Roots have many types. Okay, let's start using that diagram. We can study the types of roots. On the basis of origin, roots can be classified as many types in that taproot system or true roots. In that taproot system, we can study in next page. Adventitious root system. In taproot root system, the roots which develop from radicle on an embryo during seed germination. It is known as taproots. Means roots develops from radicals of an embryo. On that embryo, radicals are present, and in that radicals, roots develops during seed germination. In second, taproot system has a main root. It is called a primary root, and branches of an root order called as secondary roots, where branches of a secondary roots taproot system commonly known as or a taproot root system commonly seen in dicotyledonous plants. Example: pea, bean, sunflower, etc. In you can see the picture in that primary root. Here is a primary root and secondary roots are also present. In that secondary roots, tertiary roots are also observed in that diagram. Adventitious root system second type. In that system, fibrous roots also adventitious root system is also known as fibrous root system. In that, fiber-like structure or a wiry-like structure present in the root. The roots develop from any part other than a radicle. It is known as adventitious root. In that roots, from embryo from radicals, roots are developed in that. It is known as a taproot system. In embryo, radicals without radicals and other parts, using other parts without radicals, adventitious root system is developed. Adventitious roots may be developed from base of the stem nodes and nodes from leaves. Adventitious root system is a commonly seen in monocotyledonous plants. In monocotyledonous plants, basically, adventitious root system is observed. Example: maize, wheat, sugarcane, etc. In some modifications in observed in root system, in that taproot root system in some modification and some modification in adventitious root system. Firstly, we can study modification of taproot system. In first, food storage. In modification of taproot system, some modification is observed in because of some food is stored for that plant for their survival. Second, in food storage modification of root system, in that conical roots, fusiform roots, and third is nephriform roots. There is a diagram. In conical roots can store their food into conical root system, and in fusiform root system, roots are in fusiform shape and they store food. In nephriform root system, their plant store their food into nephriform roots. In conical root system, The conical roots is a board and it's a morphologically base and a narrow down towards the apex. It is called as a conical roots. Example, carrot. In carrot, you can observe conical shape. The roots get modified and they store their food into roots, and roots get swollen and they get conical shape and they store their food. Example is carrot. In second type, fusiform root system. In fusiform root system, it is a swollen in a middle and tapering towards the ends, forming a spindle shaped structure. Example is radish. You can observe radish middle tapering towards sorry swollen in middle and tapering towards the ends. You can observe in your garden or in your kitchen vegetables. Radish. Nafiform roots. Nafiform roots. In nafiform roots, base of an root is a highly swollen, almost spherical in shape and abruptly narrow down towards the apex. Example is beet. In beet, you can observe the base of roots is highly swollen. Roots base are highly swollen and their ends are abruptly narrow towards the apex. In next page, roots also modify for respiration. In that, nematophores are respiratory roots. Firstly, halophytes are the plants which grow in a saline swamps, marshy places, and salt lakes. These plants produce spherical kind of roots called as a nematophores or a breathing roots. In saline water or swamps or marshy places, in that area salt level is high. In halophytes, the roots special kind of roots is developed because of their respiration or their photosynthesis process. In that process, carbon dioxide is useful. In that, some breathing roots are also developed for their help. Pneumatic is also in pneumatic is known as hollow, or 4 is known as stack. Hollow stack is known as nematophore. In that example, Rhizophora avicennia. Here is the diagram of nematophores. You can observe in that area. Here is a respiratory roots. In next page, modification of adventitious root system. In modification, adventitious root system has a food storage modification. In that, first is simple root system. Second is a fasciculated root system. Third is a monoliform root system. Here is the diagram. Simple root system. For how to modify that 3 types of roots we can discuss. Firstly, simple tuberous root system for storage. Simple tuberous roots become swollen and do not show definite shape. They do not show the definite shape. They swollen. They are produced singly. The roots arises from nodes over the stem and penetrate into the soil. Example, sweet potato. You can observe sweet potato, the tuberous roots and become swollen and do not show definite shape. They do not show definite shape. Circular, round, triangular. They do not show any definite shape. They produce singly. See, you can observe a single potato, sweet potato. They do not in bunch. Here is the diagram of, or here is the picture of sweet potato. Fasciculated roots. In that, a cluster of roots arising from the point which become thick, fleshy due to the storage of food, known as fasciculated roots. Example, dahlia. In dahlia, you can observe which fleshy root-like structure, or here is the fleshy structure you can observe. In that structure, fasciculated tuberous roots also observe. In cluster arising, roots are in cluster. It is a advantageous root modification. You can observe cluster in roots are in cluster. In roots, they become fleshy due to the storage of food. They store their food for a undesirable condition they can survive. In dahlia you can observe. Monoliferum roots. In that roots, beaded root, it is called as monoliferum. Monoliferum means it is a beaded structure, like a beaded necklace. These roots are swelling at a regular interval, like beads of a necklace. Example, Indian spinach. You can observe here, beaded structure is observed here. Beaded structure is here. Fourth, nodulous roots. The cluster of long slender roots become enlarged at the tip, forming nodules. It is known as nodulous roots. Example, arrow. It is also known as marantha roots. And second, ambe halad, kurkuma, amanda. Here is the roots. You can see. Second, B part, for a mechanical support, roots are modified. Examples are, types are: first, prop roots; second, slit roots; third, climbing roots; fourth, clinging roots; fifth, plank roots or buttresses; sixth, buoyant roots. First, prop roots. These roots are arises from horizontal branches, often trees, banyan trees, and grow vertically downward till they penetrate into soil. For that, these roots are modified because these roots are modified arises from the horizontal branches, like banyan tree, or banyan tree's botanical name is Ficus bengalensis. It is grow vertically downwards till they penetrate into soil. These prop roots show secondary growth, become thick, act like pillars to provide mechanical supports. The members of a family Poaceae, Second, slit roots. These roots normally arises from a lower nodes, often weak stem in some monocot shrubs and small trees. They show obliquely downward growth, penetrating a soil, provide a mechanical support to the plant. In members of a family Poaceae, the plants like maize, jawar, sugarcane, etc. produce till roots and in whorls around the nodes. You can observe here. Observe here, the roots are in cluster and produce nodes around the whorl and in foreign mechanical support. Climbing roots. Third is climbing roots. Different climbers with an weak stem produced roots and their nodes by means which they attach themselves above the ground. Example, pothos, black pepper, betel leaves. You can observe in your garden pothos. It is also known as money plant. In money plant, climbing roots are observed. Their roots are developed because of for their support. Their stems are weak. For that reason, they develop climbing roots for their support to grow or penetrate their roots and get climb. Fourth, clinging roots. These tiny roots develops along internodes, show disc which exude sticky substance. This substance enables plant to get attached with the wall of buildings. They do not damage substratum. Example, English ivy. English ivy plant. In that plant, roots develop along internodes. In internodes, roots are developed show disc which excludes sticky substance. The roots are excludes sticky substance. They enable to attach the wall of building. In wall of building, the sticky substance is spread, and in that substratum the roots are attached. They do not damage substratum. They, they do not get damaged by substratum. Fifth, plank roots or buttresses often develop at the base of a large trees from a plank like extension stem. Example, pimple or silk cotton. Buoyant roots. Roots develop at a nodes. Aquatic herb like Zucchia repens become highly inflected or inflated and spongy, providing buoyancy and helping the plant to float. The buoyant roots are help to plant float because their leaves stems are get damaged by the water. They do not get damaged by the buoyant roots. They uh, cover or they provide protection to the plant by buoyant roots. C. For special functions, epiphytic roots. Small epiphytic plants such as orchid growing on the branches of an obtain soil moisture. They produce specialized root to hang in air. The roots provide with a spongy membranous absorbent growing of an phloem tissue. The cells of a phloem that absorb moisture from an air, a tissue hygroscopic and have a porous wall. The roots may be silvery white or green but without root cap. Here is the example vanda or dendrobium. This is a plant of orchid. In that you can observe here is a roots, and here is the total plant. Second, sucking roots or a hostoria. Specialized microscopic sucking roots developed by the parasitic plant to absorb nourishment from the host. Viscum album is a partial parasite in a Cuscuta reflexa or a Amarvel penetrate vascular stands and sucking food from an phloem, water and minerals from xylem. Cuscuta plants leaflets specialized Cuscuta. This plant is Cuscuta reflexa or Amarvel. The plants the plant is the roots are modified vascular stand sucking foreign food from an phloem and xylem water sorry in that plant sucking roots or roots are penetrated into phloem for food, and in roots are penetrated into xylem for water and minerals. Cuscuta is a leafless plant with yellow stem. It is a total parasite. And specialized microscopic sucking roots means in that diagram you can observe here is the wiry structure. It is a hostoria. The parasitic plant, they absorb nourishment to the host. In some plants you can observe in your daily life, on that plant wiry structure are spread, and that structure is a parasitic plant, and this plant is absorb their nutrients from host and they survive. Stem, we can study in next lecture of the stem.